my name is Lieberman Wang, but obviously I don't look like a Wang, so I want you to know my language. And I actually decided I lost my identity when I went to Lisa Wang, and somebody said, Mrs. Wang, and I said yes, and they looked right through me. I said, obviously this is not going to work. You know, a lot of the stuff you're getting here are what I call tactics. These are the things we need. We need the tactics, we need the mindset, we need all these variables to put into place to become successful. Do you agree? Yeah. Okay. What ends up happening for most of us is that despite all the great information we have, there are times that we actually get stuck. Does anybody relate to that? You have all the tools, you know what I need to do, but for some reason, I just get in my own way. Right. Not everybody? Yeah, we do that, right? But what happens, why does that happen is usually my question. Where is it coming from? And for me, I was always curious because I was always successful, but I hit plateaus. You know, my first goal was to make 6 figures, and I did that by the time I was 23 years old. Now I'm a little older than that, but I've been doing it for a very, very long time. What I realized is I didn't have a goal to make 7 figures a year, because that's why I didn't make 7 figures a year. But where did these rules and beliefs come from? This is the interesting part. Actually, no, it didn't come from my mind, although you might think so. 55% of our beliefs were derived by well-meaning parents or guardians that raised you. They put these ideas and thoughts in your mind, and all of a sudden you did not know that you were getting a wardrobe you'd be wearing for the rest of your life. The other 45% you put there yourself by circumstances, life experiences, things that happen. But before you know it, there are things that are leading you and guiding you through your path, and you're thinking, I should be so much more. Did anybody use that word should? Because I heard it a lot yesterday and today. I should be so much further along, and you don't know why you're not. Does anybody relate? Okay. Would you like to know how to get past that?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. I would love to know where a worker is. So let's talk about how to get past that. Has anybody ever heard of Sigmund Freud? Yes. Okay. So you've heard of the iceberg model, where they say that 10% of what we do is what we do. Our why is 90%. This is our conscious and our unconscious mind. What happens is the why is actually a pretty interesting variable. Now, is there anybody here who has any challenges at all that you're looking to get past? Throw them out to me so I can hear some of them. Time in. What's a procrastination? What? Procrastination. I think that's a common one. Give me some more. Staying focused.
Technology phobia.
Technology phobia. Gender. Female. I'm a female. I have to fit into a male's world. Any women ever feel like that? Any men think that they have an edge because they're a man? No, they don't. See, I want you to hear, I want you to see that. They don't. But yet women think that we need to be men to get ahead. When did that happen? Ladies, let's go back to that feminine state. You get more things done. You have more power in your feminine state than you'll ever have in your masculine. Without a doubt. And for some reason, we seem to think that's the opposite. But let's talk about where these came from. These are called beliefs. And beliefs come from the idea of what we grew up with. But here's a word that's in the middle of it. What is it? Lies. Beliefs can be lies. You can't prove any of your beliefs. That's why we know they're beliefs. Think about some of the beliefs you have that have held you back. Maybe I'm not smart enough, not pretty enough, not skinny enough, not rich enough. I don't have enough information. When I know this, I'll be able to do that. Right? These are beliefs. But where were they doing it? There are a lot of people that are not as pretty, not as smart, not as talented, not as handsome, who are doing more than you might be doing. So all those things can't be true. So let's look at it and say, how do we get to the point we want to be? I want you to realize that all of our beliefs, all of our motivations, all of our actions are all the roots of a tree. Okay? They're all the roots of your tree. That's all what you came in and the seeds planted and you created all this foundation. So what are some of your beliefs? Talk about money first. What's a belief around money? What?
It's not spiritual.
It's not spiritual. What else? It doesn't grow on trees. Absolutely. Say it louder. It's the root of all evil. What else? I didn't hear that. You have to work really hard for money. Yes, sir.
It takes money to make money.
Takes money to make money.
I love money.
I love money.
You have to save the money that you make.
You have to save the money you make. These are all beliefs, right? Now think about where they came from. Well-meaning parents, guardians, or a teacher who was conditioned to be an employee, right? Or other people, right? So you have all these beliefs. And what are some of your beliefs around business? Because we know about money, but what are some of your beliefs around business?
It's not work for someone. Some say it's hard.
Some say it's hard. You have to work for someone.
You have to be shrewd.
You have to be shrewd. Cutthroat. Okay. What about relationships? What are some of your beliefs around relationships?
You need strong relationships.
You need strong relationships. What else? What about some women think the man has to do everything, right? They're supposed to support you. Anybody have that belief ever? I thought that was the thing. I thought I was supposed to grow up and have someone take care of me. I found that wasn't the rule. It was mine, but it wasn't the rule. So here's all your beliefs. Here's down here your beliefs, your motivations, and your attitudes. And then what happens is when we build this tree, we have our values. Our values are the trunk. What's important to you? It could be integrity. What are some of your values? What are the things you stand for? Honesty. Compassion, integrity, service. Listen to what's being said. And then off of that tree, we have a tree. It has all these branches. All these branches are our behaviors. These are the things we do. Now, why is this important? Because what we do affects the fruits of our labor. Our labor are our results. Somebody who believes that it's hard to make money or you need money to make money, or they will not invest in things, does this tree get built to be plentiful, or does that person hold everything down here and this tree doesn't get built?
Never gets out of the ground.
It never gets out of the ground, right? If someone's belief is that it's hard to succeed if I'm not this or that, do you think this person is building all this, investing in their education? Do you think they're actually creating networks and partnerships? Do you think they're out there telling the world what they're going to do, or are they living in limitations? If this person's a procrastinator and they believe that, it'll get done when I know everything, it'll get done when I have more time, I need to have the right people, I don't have the right resources, what's going to happen with their, how do you think this tree's going to get built? It's not. Okay. So what happens in most cases is that we're actually building a tree based on where we're at. Wherever you are right now is exactly the roots you planted. There's no other way to put it. And we take the same iceberg model of Freud and we can look at it. This is all, right here, is all your unconscious model that's creating why you do it. The what you do is why you do it. If right now your belief system is that you're not enough and you won't be able to do things until you are enough, you will never be enough. Does that make sense? Think about something that you want right now. Something that you think is really important. If you have this one piece of information, this one thing that you can do, your business will be tenfold. What is it? Okay, joint venture. What is it? Sponsor. Confidence.
Team.
I want you to think this through now. I want you to forget about the joint ventures and the other thing. I want you to think personally, what is the one thing you need internally to make your business go to another level?
Fearless.
Believe in yourself. Absolutely. At what level? The highest level. The unconscious level. How many people here can honestly say that on a scale of 1 to 10, you are a 10 in confidence that what you're going to do is going to make the difference in the world and you're going to change lives with what you're doing? 10. Not enough. Give those people who raise their hand a hand. Well, what does it take to be a 10? See, all the other stuff, this is the mindset, guys. If we're not here in the belief system that we're going to succeed, we're not. And to think anybody else is going to buy into your vision when you have it is ludicrous. Would you agree? So how do you get there? Isn't that a great question? Well, I'm going to tell you the real answer is you cut down the tree. The answer is cut down the tree. Because what we keep doing is putting band-aids on areas and thinking we're going to mask what's going wrong instead of just create a new tree. I told you 55% of that tree was not even planted by you. My parents told me to go get a good job. I wanted to be a lawyer. My dad told me I was going for my MRS degree. I got that twice. I know there's some in your heads, okay? My dad told me I was going to college to get married. So I did that twice. Overachiever, MRS degree. I never even thought I could actually make the money to go to law school and pay the difference. He said, we're only covering you for 4 years. Never thought of anything different. You know, you turn around and people tell you something, and for some reason you believe it and you stay in that role, but it never fit you to begin with. Those limitations are what keep you where you're at. My bank book stayed at 6 figures until I realized I can earn 7. But I needed to change and cut down the tree. And I'm going to share something with you very personal. Is that okay?
Yes.
So I grew up in a house, a typical dysfunctional family. I'm sure none of you had that. My nickname by my dad was asshole. I was not called princess or sweetheart or anything very pretty. That's what I was called. I also had, and I'm sorry, I'm going to curse again. I had turnstile disease. Anything I touched turned to poop. So I really didn't have a high self-esteem, you can imagine. And by the time I was 16, 18 years old, I started and developed ulcers and eating disorders and hospitalized for a sudden heart attack by the time I was 18. I spent 13 years in hospitals with bulimia, compulsive overeating, stress, and all the other things that I had gone through. And despite all that, I managed to go out, get a career with IBM, MCI, top in sales, top income earner. I was able to be a millionaire by the time I was 30, but I had this thing about holding on so tight, because I would always live in deprivation that was never enough. That MCI WorldCom went bankrupt. And when they did, I never sold the stock, because I never could believe that would happen to a blue chip company. But I lived in such deprivation and lack thereof that I always lived below my means. You never knew I had money. I was a millionaire next door, you never knew. Because I always drove used cars, did all that stuff. But I lost everything, but I had to go make it back again. And I did, and I made a lot more. But it all happened up here. It didn't happen anywhere else. And what happens with most people, I see the most talented, incredible people, and they're still living with, you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you didn't do this right, you should have done it this way. And everything stays so safe up here that you find people to support your beliefs, that shows you and put them into your life to say, see, you didn't do it right, see, you can't go here. And the fruits of your labor show it the same way. Your fruits sometimes are the money that's in your bank account. So you're doing all the other housekeeping, you need to do the housekeeping here, so you can apply all this information so that you can have all the fruits you want. And money does grow on trees. It does grow on this. And money isn't the root of all evil. Evil is the root of all evil. It's what people do with money that makes a difference. Here's the best thing. If you want to serve, make a lot of money, you can be a philanthropist and serve unbelievable amount of people. That's the way to serve. But I don't think we're never, ever intended to be poor. We're intended to be rich. And as you heard yesterday, in countries where there are 1 in 6 are millionaires, wouldn't that be a great stat for us to all strive for to create more millionaires? And one of the things great about the Rainmakers, we have young people. There's a young entrepreneur here, 14 years old. I mean, we can change the world so quickly by educating people at a younger age so they have that opportunity. They don't have to think small, right? So that's amazing. So are there any questions or things that you'd like to break through right now? Because I have all the 5 minutes that I'd like to share and help you.
How do you change the negative program? Besides hypnosis.
How do you change? Well, you know, it's not even just hypnosis. A lot of it is self-talk. How we talk to ourselves, what we say in the morning. Bill talked about it yesterday with our IMs. Like, if you're saying, I'm so stupid, obviously you're going to find things and behaviors that will support that to show you're stupid, right? If you're saying, I'm smart, I'm a millionaire maker, I'm incredible, I change lives, I heal people, I'm a health expert, whatever it is that you are, but you have all these other IMs that support you. I encourage everybody to do 50 IMs every morning. I have my women I work with, and I do work with men now, but I do still love working with women more. But my 50 IMs, and everybody should do this, men and women. Put on your mirror 50 IMs. IMs, and I am great, I'm nurturing, I'm kind, I'm loving, I'm spectacular, I'm fabulous, I'm awesome, I'm beautiful. All these different IMs, I'm a millionaire, maker, whatever it is that you want to be. And every morning you get up and you look in the mirror and you say them with intensity and pride and excitement and invigorating with your whole body. That's the way to change it. Know that your physiology, if you're sitting there and you're kind of stone cold and not moving, what does not move in the stone cold? Dead people. Dead people. Action happens with movement. Most of us, when you get stuck, if you just look at your body and see where it's at, you're going to find out you put yourself in a dead state. You can change that easily by moving. Something so easy, and sometimes the answers are not so complicated, and we make it more complicated than it needs to be, without a doubt. The way to do this, really, is start applying everything you're learning. Take action, scheduling it. Listen to what you're saying, not just what other people are saying. Listen to what you're saying. Check yourself. Have somebody else hold you accountable. But realize that that tree has the right to be cut down, and you can build a whole new one. And when you build that new one, you can put anything in it that you want, put the right seeds in, and you'll have flourishment. You'll have everything you want. And I want to thank you all for letting me be here, and for being here and investing in yourself. I think it's the best investment we can all do. And I'm such a proponent of it, and I love listening to all the information and spending time with you. I hope to get to meet you all at some point this weekend. Thank you.
Give me a round of applause.